How many here want to go diamond? How many going to be direct this year for sure? I mean, at least there. You know, this business is exciting, and I'm really fascinated by it. I continually be fascinated by it every day, how exciting it is and how many people's lives have changed in a great way. And I know that every single person here can build it and build it big if you develop a few of the fundamentals and learn the principles of the business and keep in touch with people upline who are building it, because we would love to have you come with us to places like Hawaii, and because that's free. A lot of you will be going to Cancun free. That's a trip coming up. That's going to be great. And then there's a company trip right around that time. I know that's free too. We'll go to that, and then we'll go to Hawaii again and some other place, you know, a couple different islands over there. But it is marvelous of what is done by people in the business. And y'all have seen the profiles, haven't you? Huh? And there are common things about everybody that's in the profiles. I found the business to be very simple. Once we made a decision, we're going to do it. We will not be denied. This is going to happen for us, and we're not going to let anything get in our way. We want to see y'all part of that. And I know we all have things to overcome along the way. You know, to learn to drive, you have things to overcome, right? To become a driver. And the young drivers, the insurance is a little higher than older drivers, because younger drivers are going to make a few more mistakes, right? How many in an accident on the way here? Good for you. That's great. No accidents on the way here. How many of you had an accident somewhere along the line in your life? All right? Yeah, I mean, that happens, all right? But why didn't you quit driving? Huh? How many had a near-death experience driving? Huh? You did come in here, all right? I mean, you know, somebody could have ran a red light, you know, and we do a lot of things by faith, don't we? And then with driving, you have an accident or hit a deer or whatever, you just get up and keep on going. You know, and as my parents had 14 kids, the first one, actually she had 16, the first one didn't live. So did they say, we can't do this right and give up? You know, they had 14 more that lived, and then the last one didn't live. They just kept on keeping on, you know. And, you know, she was hard of hearing. My mom has always been hard of hearing. And same with Alexander Graham Bell's wife was hard of hearing. He wanted to develop a telephone because his wife could hear. They had a lot of kids, you know, because like Alexander Graham Bell, they had a lot of kids. And the reason was she couldn't hear good, and he'd always say, you want to go to sleep or what? And she would always say, what? And he, well, you know, all of a sudden they got lots of kids. You got to keep your business fun. You got to figure out ways to entertain yourself daily. We learn how to entertain ourselves with life. I work at entertaining Linda all the time, and you know, entertaining Annie. You got to enjoy this life. You got to enjoy it on a day-to-day basis. Most people are so uptight and nuts and so wrapped up because they don't know for sure if they got a job. The bills are piled up. They aren't sure about the future. They're not sure about this and that, and they got the credit cards and everything else. They're frustrated. But you know, when we built the business, you take a lot of that away. You know, people taking life too serious. You know, you got to learn to relax and enjoy the trip and enjoy the process on a day-to-day basis. We put lots of miles on, wrecked a couple cars along the way, and late for meetings, went to wrong places for meetings. I went to the wrong place one time for Bob. I'm supposed to be down here somewhere, and I end up over in Philadelphia, and you know, just at the wrong place. But you know, things are going to happen when you're in the process of accomplishing something. A lot of things are going to go great, and some days things just aren't going to go as good as you want. Nobody gets it the way they want all the time. Do you get the kind of raises you want every year that you want? Huh? Do you get to work the hours you want? Huh? Do you get to show up when you want? Huh? Do you get the paid vacation like you want? Huh? Do they get your flight tickets to go different places? Do you get that? Do you get to do the particular jobs you like where you work? Do you get to work with who you want to work with? Why the heck you working there? Seems like you got a bad job. Seems like, but you know, and people look at, well, I don't like this or that about the business, right? You know, when you get a car, there's certain things you don't like certain things about driving. I mean, there's such thing as speed limits, right? How many would like to be able to drive faster than you're allowed to sometimes? Now, if we all did, we know what happened there. We'd all be dead, because, speed kills, and too much speed and people aren't paying attention, it's a little bit dangerous. I mean, when you see the amber light, you just soon it would stay green just a few more seconds, and you'd be okay. I don't know why they don't have those amber lights always the exact same time. You ever stop and, well, why don't you go red? I'm stopped. Or you zip through and boom, it went red already. Well, they're red. I'd like to see them have them all the same amount of time. 1 second or 5 seconds or whatever. Just so it's consistent, but it's trying to confuse you, keep you alert. And there are a lot of things that can frustrate you about any profession that one's involved in. And there's setbacks and there's adversity, and no matter what you do, but if you're going to win in the game of life, you've got to pick something that really has the goodies to it. And I really appreciated the business because I knew the opportunity was there if we'd get after it. And you look into profiles, and the more you read the stories, the more you become fascinated of all the people that have made it happen. And they did the same things. They all did the same things. They did the meetings. They kept their schedule book filled up. They kept adding to their prospect list. They did simple things consistently. And they did it a lot. And they're not the lucky people. Maybe they're lucky they disciplined themselves. But I looked at the job I had had, and it had more inconveniences for the rest of my life than did the business. I have not seen a profession that has more inconveniences than the business that we built. What time we're getting up tomorrow? Whenever we feel like it. Where'd I go to work today? I didn't. I was home all day. And have a nice lunch with my wife, and we spent all day talking about different things. Then our daughter come home from school, and we're both there to say, hi, how you doing? And then we talk to people over at the office, and we fax a couple things back and forth during the day, talk to a few people on the phone. That's all right. And then we look down the road, how great it's going to be, different trips, going down to Florida, and we go from Go Diamond, and then we're going down to Fort Lauderdale for a little while with the kids, and they're all flying down to meet us down in Fort Lauderdale. We have the Harbor Beach Marriott. It's really a nice hotel, really nice. And we get down there quite often, and we stay there, and then we're going to meet with some other friends that are going to be down at the Alexandria down in Miami Beach. We'll get together with them sometime and have dinner, and we'll have a lot of neat things going on. But, do you have inconvenience? If you stop and look at it, do you have to go to work tomorrow? To me, that's an inconvenience. Because you retire at the end of the year. Huh? Have you been there more than 10 years? Hello? Then maybe that's an inconvenience too. Right? I mean, most things have lots of inconveniences. There was a fellow that we had at EDC down in South Africa. He was a doctor up in Canada. And due to the socialized medicine, he moved down to Atlanta. And he saw the socialized medicine control and his income going down the tube, and he said, man, I'm getting myself in the same situation I was in up there in Canada. So he sees the plan, gets in, fired up, goes Diamond, goes EDC. He said, I don't have to worry about stuff anymore. He has a tremendous income, doesn't have to worry about liability, doesn't have to worry about getting all the lawsuits. He said, man, I'm free. And he said, it's great. But, a lot of people come into business trying to find a magic secret to build it. There are some magic, consistent secrets in people who build the business and build it big. And the one is undying faith. That is one critical element built in the business. So the people that I see build it, and it's just, hey, we're doing it. We're doing it, and that's how we left our first function. Honey, we're not going to negotiate with it this year and then renegotiate next year whether we're going to do it. And then if we have a few meetings that don't go right, we'll renegotiate whether we're going to do it or not. And then if we go to a function and we don't have the crowd we feel we should have, we're going to renegotiate it again. My foot, we just decided one day we're going to be directs. And then we went direct, and we decided we're going to be Emerald. We don't care what happens. We will not be denied. We're going to overcome it one way or other. And no matter who wins in the game of their life, they have obstacles and things that they're going to overcome. And the biggest obstacle we all have to overcome is ourselves, is our own doubt. our own questioning, our own inadequacies, and wondering whether or not it's for us or whether we're deserving. But I found the more you show the plan, the more deserving you realize you really are. The more you're showing the plan, you realize you're more deserving. You know, and we just didn't look at for reasons why we couldn't do it. And I remember Dan Williams talking at in Lancaster. It was in Lancaster, first year I'm in the business. He said, I could have looked for all the reasons why I couldn't do it, or I could look for the reasons why I could, and why I should. He said, I just focused on the reasons why I could. And he's the guy that's one fantastic leader in the business, has a huge business around the world, and he never misses a function. Had a heart operation, a bypass surgery not too long ago, and he's in South Africa having a good time. He just won't miss it because of the people in the business and the integrity and the loyalty amongst one another is why he's part of the business. And I didn't see any loyalty where I worked, but I sure see it here. You know, and I see people pulling together. If something happened to me, I'd like to have my wife in the position Leslie's in, as opposed to what I see a lot of other people in, and having the friends and the fellowship. You know, we sit down and talked to her yesterday about a number of things. She brought some people in. I'm talking to them. She didn't give me a check. I didn't want a check. I wanted to spend time with her and people she had with her. You know, and her business is booming. It's growing. She's having a lot of fun, has a lot of fulfillment, a lot of excitement in her life, a lot of good things. And, you know, this is something has of tremendous value that you need to appreciate. You need to appreciate. You know, if we appreciate our friends, you know, we look for good things in them, and we appreciate them. We understand things better. We take things for granted, you know, like living in America, or we take our kids for granted. You know, I really appreciate the kids. And before I left, I'm hugging Annie, and you know, I love you, honey. And we'll see you a little later, and we kid around all the time, and she understands me better than all the rest. You know, I don't know why, but she just understands me pretty good, and we have a lot of fun, kid around. And I can get her laughing pretty easy, and, you know, we got to have a good time with life. But, you know, when you have goals and you're passionate about accomplishing something, that's when good things happen.